Nipsey's passing has always felt heavy, with questions that never sit still and rumors that never sleep.
Cause I know the truth. Ain't none of you just put me on the set, and ain't none of you gonna kick me off the set.
People still argue about motives, enemies, and who really knew what before that tragic day. Now the word on the street says Snoop finally spoke up in court, apologized, and even pointed at Big U, which sent shockwaves through LA. Talk circles. But here's the key. These claims are reports and whispers, not confirmed facts, and that matters a lot. The story goes like this. Snoop didn't just show remorse. He supposedly connected Big U's name to the climate around Nipsey's murder, which is a serious accusation to even imply. In street culture, that kind of talk gets labeled fast, and the label people fear most is snitch, even when the full story isn't proven. Before we go further, let's keep it clean and honest. We're dealing with speculation mixed with emotion, and nobody here is confirming paperwork or verified testimony. Folks online spin narratives fast, and what sounds like a statement today can turn out to be a misunderstanding tomorrow. To understand why this hit so hard, you have to understand the players and the energy in LA. Nipsey wasn't just a rapper. He was Crenshaw's pride, a builder, a mentor, a businessman tied to the block that raised him. Big U is a respected and feared name in LA street politics, according to public chatter, and he was once close to Nipsey's rise, which is why his name gets pulled into conversations, fair or not. He's also addressed rumors publicly before and pushed back hard, calling the narratives twisted or flat out wrong. So when people heard Snoop allegedly said something sharp in a courtroom, the street split. Some said he did the right thing by speaking. Others said he crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. That tension is why this topic keeps boiling, even years later. And don't forget Snoop's dual image, media icon and Long Beach original, which makes every word from him carry extra weight with both the culture and the system. One side hears wisdom and closure, the other hears cooperation and betrayal. What's the truth behind these reports? Without official records, all we have are claims, interviews, and pain from people who love Nipsey. That combination creates noise, and inside that noise, any single name can hit like thunder. Until verified facts surface, the only safe way to frame this is simple. There are strong emotions, deep history, and unconfirmed allegations swirling, and that's why this moment feels so explosive.
Were you there that day?
Yes, I was. Guy rolled up, Nipsey's out hanging, signing autographs or whatever. Guy rolled up. I don't know what his intentions was. As I replay it, I just replay it over and over. I wish I could have done something differently. I wish I'd have never left his side.
Nipsey Hussle stood for something bigger than charts. He stood for building where you're from and proving you can turn loyalty into legacy. He opened stores, hired locals, gave game, and stayed in the same area that first tried to break him. That choice brought love and risk at the same time, because standing in the open makes you reachable in ways fame can't shield. People close to him always said he stayed rooted because he believed in the block, and the block believed in him. Big U wasn't just some outsider. His name connects to respect, leadership, and street politics in Los Angeles. And there were years where he moved in Nipsey's orbit as a mentor and manager. That kind of bond blends protection, power, and business, which can be beautiful or tense depending on the moment.
And I had never heard that. I had never heard the Nipsey Hussle conspiracy that Big U had that something to do with it, right? But let me get to a little deeper question. The rumor has it is that Nip came up to this guy and said, "I can't hang with you, or we can't be around because he was a rat," right?
Right.
Let me ask you a question. It's kind of harsh. Was Nipsey supposed to say that? If you're not in the streets no more, is your opinion on the streets that valid? I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand it was two things. Let me ask you this, because what bothers me the most is when people say he got killed by one of his own homies.
As Nipsey rose higher, the industry demanded polish while the neighborhood still demanded presence, and that tug of war creates cracks around any artist who tries to balance both worlds. Independence is strength, but it can spark new disagreements over lanes, moves, and who calls shots. This is why whispers never died after the tragedy. Because in the street lens, harm doesn't always come from strangers. It sometimes comes from familiar hands. That belief fuels suspicion even when there's no hard proof to back it up. Big U has spoken publicly against the conspiracy claims, calling them false narratives and insisting people twist situations to fit messy stories. His tone often sounds firm and tired, like someone repeating a denial for the 100th time to a crowd that won't listen. So when folks heard Snoop allegedly linked Big U's name to the climate around Nipsey's death, the street debate reignited like dry brush catching a spark. Some said, he finally said what people were thinking. And others said, this is character damage without evidence. That reaction shows how fragile the code is. Reputation is currency, and once a name is tied to a narrative, it sticks even if receipts never show up.
All you talking about, Snoop can't come to the hood. He can do whatever I like when I like. Second of all, you 50 years old. You can't get a job, cuz? You mad at me, cuz? Cause I won't help you no more?
That's why people treat this topic like holding a live wire, because one rumor can burn a whole legacy. The fairest way forward is acknowledging both realities. Nipsey's loss changed the city, and people still seek answers. But accusing someone without hard proof is dangerous and can't be treated like confirmed truth. The story says Snoop walked into a courtroom humble, spoke on past mistakes, and apologized for how glamorizing gang life can fuel harm. That's what the narrative claims he told a silent room. Then, according to those same accounts, he named Big U in a way that tied him to the tension around Nipsey's murder, which is where everything broke open. If true, that blends remorse with accusation. And in the street dictionary, naming names is cooperation, and cooperation gets branded ugly. Whether you agree with that code or not, it's how credibility gets measured in certain neighborhoods, and credibility is everything. To outsiders, this might sound like someone speaking their truth, but to insiders, it lands like testimony, which turns a cultural elder into a potential witness in the public imagination. Even the hint of that can change how people move around you. The issue is bigger than any one person. It's about the rule that says no names, no cooperation, no betraying the circle, even when the circle is complicated. That's why the word snitch carries so much heat, because it's not just an insult, it's social exile. But remember, we're dealing with unverified claims about what was said and how it was said, and that matters before anyone writes permanent labels. Without official records, this sits in rumor territory, which is a dangerous place to crown heroes or villains. Snoop's image has always balanced two worlds, daytime TV charm and nighttime street respect, and that balance is fragile when serious allegations get attached to your voice. One sentence can shift how people see you in both spaces. This is why people reacted so strongly, because if he really named someone, the streets call it betrayal. But if he spoke to honor Nipsey's memory by clearing his conscience, some call it courage. The divide is emotional and generational. The only safe bottom line is this: accusations without verified backing can wreck lives. So handling them with caution isn't weakness, it's discipline. Until facts are clear, treat every claim like a spark near gasoline.
I'm gonna miss him. The world misses him. It's great what he's done for the world. I'm gonna miss his smile. I'm gonna miss him just rolling up on me. I'm gonna miss his advice. He give me books to read. It's just so many things I'm gonna miss about him.
Big U hasn't ducked the spotlight when his name gets pulled into theories. He's challenged them in interviews and spoken directly to the camera. He's called the storylines false, insisted people bend context, and tried to pull his name away from the darkest angles. He's also framed the shooter as not truly family, which is his way of separating the circle from the act. And that language matters in neighborhoods where the word family is a shield and a test. It says, "Don't tie our house to something we didn't sanction." When asked about disputes, Big U has acknowledged disagreements, but downplayed them as family matters, which sounds protective, but also shows how hot things can get when love, business, and street politics mix. That blend gets volatile fast when money and respect are on the line. In that world, the same person who gives you an alley-oop today might feel like a threat tomorrow. And that duality fuels rumors even when nobody can prove anything.
There was some sort of situation that happened, some sort of shootout with you, Nipsey, LAPD, something.
No, that was what, 7 years ago? It wasn't no shooting. It wasn't no shooting. It was a family dispute. That's my little brother, you know what I'm saying? I love him to death.
People fill gaps with fear, and fear turns into legend. This is why hearings, depositions, or any supposed courtroom mention turns into cultural earthquakes, because the code says, keep it in-house, and any public naming becomes a violation in people's eyes. That's how reputations crack without a single document hitting the light. Snoop sitting between Peacemaker and set member adds more fuel because folks expect him to navigate both lanes without crashing. If he truly named Big U, some say it's principle, while others say it's the final bridge burned. The cruel part is how permanent the label becomes, because once people attach snitch to a name, it spreads faster than any follow-up correction ever will. In that sense, rumor beats reality every time. So we're left with two truths. Big U rejects the link, and people still repeat it because suspicion is sticky. The fairest path is to separate pain from proof and not turn speculation into a verdict. Even years later, Nipsey's name brings silence to rooms and pride to blocks, because he wasn't just famous, he was a blueprint for building. He showed that you can succeed, invest, and stay rooted without selling out what made you. The city mourned hard, from Crenshaw to global stages, with murals rising across South LA like stained glass windows for the streets. Caravans blasted his music, and crowds wrote "The Marathon Continues" as a promise to each other. His memorial at the Staples Center turned a sports arena into a sanctuary, with tens of thousands showing love and millions more watching from home. A letter from a former U.S. president praised Nipsey's community vision, which tells you how far his impact traveled. Lauren London spoke from the heart about love and loss, turning the stage into a home-going that felt both personal and epic. His mother's strength and grace reminded people to see beyond violence and honor his life's mission. Friends like Snoop and others shared stories that made Nipsey feel close. Not a distant figure, but a brother who laughed, helped, and pushed people to boss up. That energy is why the city still treats his image like a flag. This is also why new accusations hit like reopening an old wound, because every rumor drags his family back into public grief. They didn't sign up to debate codes. They lost a son, a partner, a father, and that's real pain. Fans split online when Snoop's alleged courtroom words resurfaced, with some praising honesty and others saying he traded credibility for closure. That split shows how the culture wrestles with truth, loyalty, and trauma. Honoring Nipsey means protecting his memory from reckless claims while staying open to facts if they ever come. That balance is tough, but it's the only way the healing can move forward. In LA, the code is simple and brutal. Don't cooperate, don't name names, and don't bring the system into street business. People may disagree with that philosophy, but inside certain circles, it's the rule book that determines who gets respect. That's why Snoop's alleged words caused such a blast. People heard testimony, not just emotion, and they stamped it as betrayal even with no official records presented. The label arrives fast, and it doesn't wash off easy. The community reaction stretched far. Some said truth-telling is overdue. Others said you can't preach the set and then play by courtroom rules. Both sides claim love for Nipsey, but they don't agree on how to honor that love. Nipsey's family sits in the crossfire of narratives while trying to keep his businesses alive and his mission moving. They carry private grief while the public argues about codes and conspiracies like it's a sport. Big U is back on defense in the rumor mill, repeating that there's no paperwork or proof tying him to Nipsey's murder. He sounds firm and worn down, like a man fighting the same shadow over and over in a city that won't forget. Snoop's image now sits on a tricky edge, cultural ambassador and set elder. And one alleged sentence might reshape how both worlds view him. Some call it courage, others call it crossing a line you can't step back over. So here's the real question hovering over the West like a storm cloud. Did speaking up, if he truly did, move the conversation toward truth? Or did it turn a wound into a scar that never heals? That doubt keeps the city restless. Until verified facts settle the noise, the fair stance is caution. Honor Nipsey, respect the families, and keep rumor in its lane. His legacy deserves care, and the marathon only continues if the city chooses wisdom over wildfire.